What's up, great people, and welcome to another episode of the Fabe Effect Podcast. I am your host, Fabe, and I'm excited, so excited, because we have our special guest on this week. I told you last week that we were going to have a great married couple on to continue our love series, our series on relationships, and so to continue this series, I bring to you two great people, two amazing individuals, two attorneys. Hello, somebody say money. Okay, two lawyers, great individuals. We have Justin Jones and Shari Amore Jones. You all have been married for how long now?
This November, 7 years.
7 years of marriage, and you are newly parents?
Yes.
How's your son?
Jackson, 3 years old.
Okay, so like everyone wants to know, probably because we nosy by nature, what is the story behind Justin and Shari? Let me tell y'all before they start. Justin and Shari, I went to college with Shari, and Shari went to law school after undergrad, and she met Justin in law school. So that's how her friend circle was introduced to Justin. But Shari, how were you introduced to Justin in law school?
Ooh, you ready for this?
Just go ahead.
Okay, let's go. Babe, I forgot you said look this way, right? Look at you. Okay. So, thank you.
I'll help you out, boo.
Thanks, babe. So, Justin and I met in law school. It was in the law library where I literally lived in the law school library. And Justin came in one day and came up to me. You want to take it from there?
Give me the player from Carolina.
So this is very interesting. I don't think I told the story before. So I'm my first semester in law school. I'm coming into the library. I'm going into the computer lab to get ready to go to class in the afternoon. So I see Shari with a group of other people, and I think they're coming out of their class and they're just talking. So I introduced myself to the group, not just Shari, to the group, and from there, it's like she immediately told me that she had a boyfriend. And I was like, okay.
I was like, he wants me. He needs to know I'm not available.
So that's how we initially met. And then from there, we started hanging out in groups.
Yeah.
Because we were both in the Black Law Student Association while we were in law school. Mm-hmm. So we got to know each other as friends. And we hung out in groups before we actually started dating and getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say y'all started off as friends.
We started off as friends. Like Justin said, when he first came up to me, the first, 5 sentences were,
I have a boyfriend.
I have a boyfriend. And I was like, and this is my boyfriend.
Yeah, showed me her boyfriend on Facebook.
Okay.
And so, I'm not making up, strangers.
Yeah, he showed me her boyfriend on Facebook.
This is my boyfriend. I'm not available, sir. And so then, what was it, like a semester and a half, maybe later? A few months later.
Yeah, we were friends by this point. We had been hanging out in groups.
Yep.
And she asked me her opinion on a guy.
Your opinion on?
A guy reaching out to her after a certain time at night.
Yeah, because I went to the club.
I was like, well, if he's reaching out that time of night, he got one thing on his mind. Yeah. But pause, you have a boyfriend, so why are you even exchanging phone numbers? She said, oh, no, I'm single. Oh.
Didn't let me know though. So you don't keep friends on me.
Right.
So I didn't know. I never knew she was single until this conversation.
Yes. So I was now available, but right. I did not make a poster.
So that's how I found out she was single.
Yes.
Okay. So how did y'all end up dating?
So there were a lot of stages we had.
So long story short, this is what happened. This is what happened. The nitty gritty, the unfiltered.
This
version.
is unfiltered.
So, which I shouldn't probably say this. So I go on a date one night, right?
Yes.
And all of the other black law students go to someone's house for like a little kickback. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I'm telling them I'm coming over after. I go out. I'll tell them I'm going on a date. Right. After I go out. So I head over there. When I get there, one of our mutual friends who's supposed to take Shari home said, hey, Justin, I'm not feeling well. Can you take Shari home? I said, sure. So we hop in the car, start talking, take Shari home. We get to her apartment complex. We literally sit in her driveway or in the parking lot for like
4 hours.
4 hours to like 4 a.m. just talking.
Yeah.
So then, by this time, we're friends, but after that night, I knew Shari in a different way. Like we talked about our childhood, our parents, everything.
Everything.
So the next day, we go to the movies, and then we do the same thing. I take her home. We sit in the parking lot till 2 this time.
Because I didn't let men in my apartment. So we stayed in the parking lot.
Right.
I was a good girl.
So we talk till 2 a.m. And then from there, we kind of like stopped hanging out in groups.
Yeah.
And we started dating, just solo dates. And
Just us.
start developing a relationship and getting to know each other, a courtship. And that's how it developed.
Yeah.
Wow.
I suspect the headache. That heifer was fine. She wanted us to start talking.
Right.
So she was like, oh, I'm dizzy. I got to go home.
Oh, so she played.
She played with.
She played matchmaker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Played matchmaker. And we
Yes.
give her credit for that.
Yes.
Okay.
So she knows.
She definitely played matchmaker.
Yeah.
Dope. So here we are 7 years later.
Yes.
You all left law school, moved to Atlanta, passed the bar, started your careers. Then Justin, you're now an agent, sports agent. So all of that encompassing and then you decide to get married. So marriage, did you know you wanted to marry each other? Like in your dating season, did you know okay, Shari, if he was to propose to me, I would say yes. Or did you know just this is the one for me?
So my big theme on life is there's levels to this, right? So
It's phases and steps.
Lord. And so when Justin, like he just told you, when we were in the parking lot, and that night for 4 hours, it changed from just friends to this guy I would like
saw him a different way.
Yeah, I saw him in a different way. And then we just continually, our relationship progressed. And law school is hard. And it is not sexy. It's not glamorous. You are broke. You are tired. You do not have money to do your hair, to have new outfits, to iron the outfits you do have. You just feel real bum-like. And if you meet somebody who makes you feel like a princess, like a queen, while you're feeling really peasant-ish, then I just feel like that's something to be valued. And so he just made me feel special. And so that's how that 4-hour conversation, I knew he was a good guy. I knew he was somebody's person. But throughout our law school process, that's what made me think he's my person. He's here for me. And just that whole relationship progressed. And then we moved to Atlanta. We dated for quite some time.
Yeah.
Quite some time. Quite some time. People around me, they were asking us when would we get engaged. I can't propose to myself, so I don't know why they would ask me. But every holiday, I would think this is the holiday that he's going to propose to me. And Thanksgiving would roll around.
Christmas. Your birthday.
My birthday, Valentine's Day.
New
Year's, I thought was the one. My birthday again.
Okay.
Because we dated for a while now. My birthday again, Justin overheard me talking to, remember the phone call?
So Shari said she had never been to Disney World. And I said,
Never.
oh yeah,
Still
so
never
I'll
been.
take you to Disney World for your, I think, 30th.
Yeah.
And I overheard her telling someone on the phone that, yeah, he's going to propose to me in front of the castle. So I immediately kind of cut her off we not going to Disney World because I don't have any of that planned. That's not what's happening. I thought you just never been.
Yeah, it was a conversation.
So Shari told me, don't take me to Disney World.
Don't you take me to Disney World if you're not going to propose to me. Because I had already Googled
Flash mob
dances. I was like, oh, what if he chooses this song? And then Mickey and
she
the
plans her own
castle.
Surprises.
Yeah, I do. I do plan my own surprises. Because I think people who love me will do this. So I was like, don't take me to Disney World if I'm not going to be proposed to. I'm a grown woman. I don't need to just go. And so I've still never been to Disney World.
And you're married.
I'm married.
Yeah.
So thanks, Mickey.
You made it.
I made it. And so another season of holidays came around, and still no Thanksgiving. I thought that would be the one because we were around all his family. That was not it. And then Christmas came around, and his mom and his sister came from North Carolina, and they stayed with us and all that good stuff. And Christmas night, I'm upstairs in the room crying to my mom because I have not been proposed to. And I didn't understand what sick game he was playing with my heart.
And he know what he was doing. He was doing it on purpose because he wants you to know.
Right.
And I actually had the ring Christmas Eve, but I just didn't want to propose on Christmas.
Yeah.
He waited 2 days after Christmas, and he made me think that I was planning this event for myself. Basically, his mom and his sister were in town, and he's like, well, let's take him somewhere. Where should we take him? I said, take him to Atlantic Station. He said, okay, when should we take him? I said, let's take him on the weekend.
So they have the Christmas tree out there during Christmas.
Yeah.
Be nice. They've never been.
Yeah. And so he's like, cool, what time? I was like, at nighttime when it's all lit up. And he's like, okay. So
you can't surprise nosy people. So I had to let her plan her own engagement without her knowing that she was planning her
and
own
I did
engagement.
just that, and so my guard was down, and I'm walking around Atlantic Station with
Because you
an
think you
attitude.
carried it to the in-laws. So you're like, I'm all, you know.
Yes. And so we walk to the tree part. Justin, we get out the car, we park. Justin's like, okay, where do you want to go? I said, the stores are closed. Let's just take him to the tree and go home. And so he's like, okay. And so we walk into the tree, and all of a sudden, the music that's playing around the tree stops. It feels fairy tale-ish, but it stops because we were there so late. Okay. And then their fake snow is falling down. And then I take a look around and I start recognizing people around the tree. And it's Justin called, like our friends that lived in Atlanta and all that good stuff. And then he started talking. I don't know what he said.
Because he was already used
I was
already.
Correct.
And so I just kept shouting out, this is my moment. This is my moment. So I was very thankful.
That's good. You didn't plan it.
I did not play it.
So from a male's perspective, I knew that Shari was my wife probably a year into dating her. It was just certain things that happened that kind of like, this is different. Like, this is me. But from a financial standpoint, I was not prepared to be anyone's husband.
And speak on that, actually, because I was going to go speak on that because a lot of times women don't understand the male's perspective in terms of, it's not you, it's not that I don't want you.
But I got to be prepared.
It's just I have a personal goals. I have things I want to do.
I'm glad you said that. Like, a lot of guys think they got to have a certain amount of money saved in the bank. Like, you'll never be ready. Financially, you'll never be ready because you're never going to have the amount of money that you want saved for that. But you do need to have a stable income.
Yeah.
You do need to have a mode of transportation. It don't got to be a Benz, but be able to get back and forth to work.
Yeah.
You have to work out stay.
So for me, coming out of law school, I was living off refund checks. And then I was crashing at people's houses. I was sleeping on couches and futons and air mattresses. I'm not gonna bring nobody else in there. So for me, I was trying to get to a place.
Struggle together. Like
Yes.
No,
That's not sexy.
Like, I had to have
struggle is not sexy.
I had to have a conversation with my aunt. She's like, your Shari will marry you now. I said, yeah, but I don't want to have to go find 2 sandwiches. Right now, I got 1 to find.
Right.
So, like, I'm not in a position to take care of somebody and be responsible for somebody until I get myself together.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But through the process, I was communicating that I want to be with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not stringing you along, but I gotta be prepared to be someone's husband.
Right.
I'm not right now.
And Shari, did you understand that?
I understood that. You know, I'm joking now, but like your instincts tell you rather someone is trying to lead you on, or rather, they're preparing. This is worth the wait, because that same aunt told him in front of me, Shari will marry you with the Cheerio ring. Turned to that chick, I said, who said that, auntie? That's not what we're talking about. So I appreciate the wanting to have everything in order, because we don't need to struggle together. That's added stress. That's not sexy.
It takes away from y'all really the relationship, and you start thinking about like,
Yes.
tomorrow we gotta figure out how we gonna eat.
Right.
I mean, to be honest with you though, not to get too spiritual, it's certain things that you don't walk into until you get married.
Yeah.
Like, it's certain opportunities that you gonna walk into when you become.
Say it to the people. Say it to the people.
When you decide to commit yourself to one person forever, it's certain opportunities and blessings you're gonna walk into that you were not able to walk into because you were not with your person.
Yeah.
And we laugh about it now because we were like, we need to wait until we get to this point in our career to get married.
Right.
Certain things, like doors start opening
After.
when we decide to walk into.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, we gonna commit ourselves to this and we gonna walk into marriage and do this the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And then, career-wise, opportunities, everything,
It just
doors start opening.
coming into place.
Yeah. So let's get into this topic of love.
Okay.
And this topic of relationship, because I really wanted to highlight marriage, because if I'm being honest, it's something that's becoming a joke, or something that's not really, publicized in the culture scene. Social media, you got everybody out here, trying to have sugar daddies in the clubs. They they ain't really trying to get down with nobody.
Right.
Sarah gets her high. So people are just not really like marriage. Is like,
they're not.
And I'll be honest. If I'm honest, I've been one of those people, like in the sense where before I was like, I need to be married. I want to be married.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, I really want a kid.
Yeah.
If that comes through marriage,
then it does. If it doesn't,
I still want a kid.
Yeah.
So what would you all say? What is the greatest part about being married that you would say? Just you hit on it very well when you said, some certain blessings not coming into your marriage. So what would you say? What is the greatest part of being married? Not just being married, but also being married to Justin. Shari, I'll start with you.
Okay, so I would say the best part about being married to Justin, he knows this answer because I say it like all the time. Being married is like a permanent slumber party for the rest of your life. I don't know how else I can sell it, but it is like the best slumber party I've ever had, and I don't have to leave the next morning.
Wow.
Like, it's just, Justin is my best friend, and I think that's what makes marriage special, because you have to be married your person. Marriage is not fun if it's not your person. You have to pretend with someone who's not meant for you. So like Justin, he has literally seen all of the angles of me, and he loves me beyond that. Like, he loves me unconditionally, and that makes me feel safe. It makes me feel secure. And so I would say that the best part of marriage is just like having someone by your side. What's a good way to explain it? It's a slumber party that I never have to leave. I just have a best friend.
You always got somebody to hang out with.
Yeah, literally. And like we like the same shows. Football comes on. I'm not that into football, but I want to hang out with him so badly. I watched the game last night. Cool. It watched me some of it. But I mean, like, I just really, really love hanging out with him.
That's dope. Justin, what would you say the best part about being married to Shari?
So,
many of us want to know.
Right. Speak into the mic.
The cool thing about Shari is, and what attracted me to Shari is that Shari is Shari. Like, you don't have to, like, crank her up, wind her up, and she's Shari. Like, she's just gonna go. And that's very attractive. Like, you don't have to put batteries in her, she gonna go. So that's cool. And then, like, to me, like, when you find your person, and Shari is mine, you can be vulnerable. As a man, you're taught to be masculine. You're taught to be hard, not have feelings. But when you find someone you can be yourself, your goofy self with, you can be vulnerable, like, that's a beautiful thing. Where you don't gotta worry about putting on this facade all the time. Like, I'm tough, I'm cool. Like, no, like, I can say, I'm scared. Or I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I can be totally honest with her and communicate my feelings, my likes, my dislikes. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
When you can look at your partner and say, hey, like, I'm gonna figure it out, but I'm scared.
Yeah. I love the fact that it's like an us versus any and everybody type of vibe. Like, I could mess up in public, I could do something super dumb, say something super dumb, and he's not gonna correct me in public. You know, he's not gonna be like, why did you do that? You look crazy.
Yeah, we have those conversations.
Where'd you get home?
Yes.
She did that.
I just get my back.
Like, united front.
We gonna be growing together in public.
When you get home, you know you was wrong.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'll give you time to call him and get yourself together.
Right.
But I'm telling you, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
But united front.
United front. And so that's kind of what makes Justin my person, because I trust him to make me better and to push me to be better. And on top of him knowing like all the words to all my favorite movies, I think that that's special because not everybody gets your movies, you know what I mean? And he knows all of them before even meeting me. He got to memorize. So I think that's like my Cinderella slipper moment.
Awesome. That's really good. Now, so let's get into this advice to the people.
To the people.
So I talked about something last episode, boundaries.
Yes.
And I went on to say, like, there are even boundaries in marriage. And I'm going to prove that with my couple next week.
Yeah.
I didn't prep them, tell them before to agree with me. I want them to talk about it. As you all can see, like, this is a pretty best friend kind of relationship. So, you know, you would probably think like, oh, there are no boundaries in their relationship. They just... So let's talk about boundaries. Like, what would your advice be, Justin, with boundaries? And how did you implement your boundaries in your relationship?
So I think it really has to do with communicating and being honest with your partner.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of guys view marriage like happy wife, happy life. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you're in the marriage too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So certain things, if you don't like, you need to communicate. I don't like that. Or I don't want to do that. I don't think you should do that. Mm-hmm. But you got to be open and honest. Whatever those things are. Like to social media, to going out, like whatever standards and boundaries y'all have for your marriage, y'all got to figure that out.
Just be on the same page.
Have a communication. Have a sit down and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this, or we don't like this.
Yeah.
And so how is it for you, you know, being somebody that is, you know, has a big personality?
Yeah.
When he says like, okay, no, I don't want to do that. And that's not something I want to do.
Right.
Like how on the receiving end, how do you as a wife, and I think you should give advice to these young ladies out here, receive a man's boundaries and say, okay, even though there's something that I would have done, or but if he doesn't want to do it, how do you respect that, or without making it seem like, oh, it's about what I want, not necessarily about what you want?
Well, originally when I hear the word boundary in marriage, I think that doesn't exist. That's my knee-jerk reaction, and that's just because when I think of the word boundary, I think of like the map of the United States and like all of these dividers, like don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. And I don't see marriage like that. I don't see it as like a don't do list. I see it as boundary list to the extent of this could be a TMI moment, but I don't believe in closing the bathroom door anymore. I believe that it's you and me together on this, and that makes me that makes me feel like we have a boundaryless relationship. So when I heard boundaries, I like, we don't have any. We use the bathroom with the door open, boundaryless. But hearing Justin talk about, you know, communication and just coming together and letting your partner know what you are okay with and what you're not okay with. Yeah. I think I am a pretty out there type of personality, and the crazy thing is that people don't really know that Justin's like the same as me. People think that like I'm the loud, crazy one, and I make him do these videos. No, he's hype. He's just as hype as me. And so he's baby, tell him you're hype and you're excited.
I'm just as hype as you.
And tell him that you're excited.
I'm
excited to do it. But like I'm thinking of what was Old Girl with the usher and
Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer. Okay. So right? Yeah. And so I thought Keke Palmer's dress was quite cute. I said, oh, look at this. Okay. I see you dressed. I showed it to Justin. He's like,
inappropriate.
Right. You can't.
I did too with him.
You say you can't wear stuff like that. So I'm like,
but Keke is not married.
Keke is not married.
So he's not married.
And I don't know when she'll be married because she did wear that.
Well, that's not.
It's
not our business. That's their relationship.
That's their relationship. Hold on to his unchanging hand. And so I think that as long as your partner communicates what makes them uncomfortable and you communicate what makes you uncomfortable, I think that you just respect it and you don't think of it as a way of them censoring you, but just a respect, really.
It's basically what a boundary is. I think when you say you hear the word boundary, you think
limits.
Yeah, like you said, limits. But I think boundaries are just morals and values and some things, the lines that I prefer not to cross.
Yeah.
And since you chose me and I chose you, you know, respect that I prefer not to cross it.
Right.
Not saying that, you know, we judge nobody for doing what they do.
Exactly.
You know, it's just
it was a cute dress, Keke.
But it's like, you know, I prefer this, and if you know you love me, so we communicate that. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
So both of you all had relationships prior to each other.
Yes.
So The next area I want to touch on is settling, because people settle.
Yeah.
People settle for relationships. People settle for people because of their looks. People settle for people because what they can do for them. Yeah, people settle for people when I had a baby by mistake, so I feel like this is where we are. So, what would be your advice on being that you were in a relationship before each other? Like, why don't you think you settled in those relationships? Or do you feel like you did settle at some point in your life?
I think, you want me to hit first or you hit first?
No, I think, you go ahead.
We're going to keep our exes anonymous.
Yes, yeah. You don't throw names on nothing.
Right. But I think that you have to let God lead you. I think a lot of times we're trying to steer the wheel and drive where we want to drive. Like you said, in your mind, at a certain age, you wanted to be married, and cookie cut this. And I think we all kind of grew up with that. They give us a sheet of paper. Where do you want to be when you're 20, 25? And I thought, clearly this would be like 15 years ago, but I thought I'd be married with 2 to 3 kids and just what society put on me. And so not ever asking myself, is this what makes me happy?
Yeah.
And so I think that I was trying to take the wheel from God in my previous relationships, like plural, all the relationships I've ever had, starting back to middle school. Lord,
you were trying to do.
I was trying to do.
Starting in middle school?
I was trying to take the wheel and do my own thing. And I think that God will guide your relationship. And so settling, I was in previous relationships, and I didn't know that was settling according to God's will for me. To me, I'm like, this was the plan. I'm in it. I'm happy. But to God and like my future, he's like, this isn't the plan. I'm not going to let you sit here. And I am Justin's person. And that basically means that everyone I've ever talked to, been in a relationship with, I was never their person.
It would never go to work.
Doesn't mean that they wasn't a lesson.
Right.
Doesn't mean you wasn't in love.
Exactly.
I think you can be in love with multiple people. That doesn't mean that this person is going to be your person.
Yes.
That season could be, they could have fed you amazingly in that season of your life. But then they don't quite fit in this season.
They don't fit. And you just have to know where you are in Christ. And you have to know your own value. Yeah. And when I say know your own value, I mean what will make you happy at the end of the day. And don't sell yourself short, because some people do settle.
And they act like they love it because this person makes sense. Like, this person is this, this. So now I need to make sure I'm that so I can be with this person.
Exactly.
Like, that's not love. That's not how you...
It's not how you win in the long run or even in the short run. Because the plan is, Justin and I both are products of happily divorced parents. Our parents have been happily divorced since kindergarten. And so we told ourselves, we want to be happily married. We don't want to get married to be married because it's on our to-do list. We want to be in this and we want to be happy. And so I think when you go into it for the right reasons, then you'll get the right outcome. Old relationships, I think my reasons were not aligned with God's reasons for me. So...
That's true. Justin, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, in short, sorry, a little long-winded.
Am I?
No, I would say on the settling piece. So typically when you are looking for anything, it can be a car, a house, or a person, you have a list of things. But that list is normally deal breakers, like these are must-haves, and these are some things I would like to have. So when you scratch off some of your deal breakers or your must-haves, then you're settling. Like, prime example, when we bought a house, I wanted a basement.
Yeah.
It wasn't a must-have. I wanted a basement. When we came in our house, actually, I have a third floor man cave instead of a basement. I didn't even know I wanted one until I came in this house. You know what? I don't need the basement. But the must-haves were, we wanted an open concept. We wanted a first bedroom we wanted a bedroom on the first floor, but we didn't want it to be the master. That was a deal breaker. So if we did not have that, we would have settled for a house that we didn't really want. We would have, in the house is like a marriage. You get a nice mortgage. You're going to have it for a while.
Together.
So like certain things you just need to not be wavering on.
Yeah. Know your deal breakers.
That's good. You all spoke on the importance of communication. I want to talk about this because I'm a firm believer in this, and I just want to make sure that I'm right about it, but I know I am. Happiness.
Yes.
The fact that you don't make each other happy. You don't. That's not what you do. You add to each other's happiness. So how did you know? Like, what did you do? What soul searching did you do to make sure that you were in a place of happiness with yourself, and how important is being happy with yourself before you can be happy with somebody else?
That's deep.
So the weirdest thing about that is it's a self-reflection thing. You got to really soul search, go in yourself, whatever you do, as far as go to church, you meditate, work out. You really got to be a whole person before you come into a relationship.
Yeah, you do.
Because no one can really complete you. Like, two broken people don't make one whole.
No.
It just don't work.
No.
Because then every little thing is going to bother you in this relationship because she's not doing this, and I need her to do this to fulfill me.
Yeah.
She's not doing this.
You dealt with your
Exactly.
family is now in your relationship.
So, like, now it's unfair to her because I got holes in me that I want her to fill, but she's never intended to do that.
No.
Or she's going to be able to do it.
No.
Right.
No.
So, I mean, I think I took some time in between relationships. And the weirdest thing is, it sounds bad, but, like, enjoy being single.
Yes.
Be okay with being by yourself for a season. Because when you do this, it should be for the long haul.
Yeah.
You don't want to jump in and out of relationships.
Yeah.
So enjoy being
Yes.
in that single phase as well.
Yeah.
What about you, Shari?
Okay. So to make sure I'm not too long-winded, babe, ask me the question one more
I
time.
say happiness. How did you discover your happiness before you decided to be in a relationship or decided to be married, and how important is being happy with yourself?
I think happiness is so important. If you want to be happy with somebody else, you need to be happy with yourself and by yourself. I didn't understand that. My previous relationship, I call it my rolling in dirt story because I was dumped. And I called my mom after I was dumped, and she's like, "You're gonna be fine." And so I just ran out of my apartment, ran down the street, and was rolling in dirt of a church parking lot. And so that's why I call it my rolling in dirt story, because I was literally rolling in dirt. I felt broken. What I thought my life was going to, because I thought I was going to be married before 25 type of stuff. But where I thought my life was going, it wasn't headed in that direction. And so it just made me question, what do I want? What makes me happy? And so I feel like God kind of broke me down to my core to build me up, to make me like okay with being just Shari. And when I was okay with being like just Shari, then I could meet other people and see if they added to my joy or if they took away from my energy. And I think you have to be comfortable with who you are and enjoy every stage of where you are. Happiness is not getting to your destination. Happiness is appreciating where you are and squeezing every bit of joy out of it. Like, we have this big motto, wherever you are in life, enjoy it.
It's the best time.
It's the best time.
Because you there.
You there. Everybody always says, remember the good old days. But no one ever tells you when you're living the good old days so that you can be like, this is the good old days.
Right.
So like,
I like that.
I literally tell Justin like every other day, these are the good old days, man. And so we say, when you're single, be single. Be outside safely. But like, be outside. Squeeze it. Don't be single wishing you weren't single. And then when you're a girlfriend or when you're a boyfriend, be a girlfriend and be a boyfriend, but squeeze it. Don't wish or act like you are husband and wife. That moment will come when it comes. And when you are engaged, be engaged. Don't be husband and wife yet, because the plan is to be husband and wife your entire life. We're not going backwards. We came too far to not go backwards. We're not going backwards. We're only going forward here. And so you just need to appreciate every stage God has you in.
That's good. That's really good. We'll get ready to close out because this has been an amazing conversation, and I'm learning. I'm still rather have kids right now than marriage, but if it comes, it comes.
Yes.
I'm not running from marriage. It's just
let go of the wheel.
Sometimes you get tired of kissing them frogs, and you know, and you get
So
tired of getting in relationships.
I'm gonna tell you this. What you said that, and I'm only gonna say this because I was told when you meet your person, you're going to be on your path. You're not going to have to deviate from your path. You're not going to have to go anywhere to go get them and put them on your path. You're going to be walking in a straight line, and they're going to be in that path. You're going to grab their hand and keep going in the direction you was going.
That's good. That's good advice.
I like it.
That's really good advice. Okay. As we close out, I just want to just say that I've enjoyed your conversation. I've enjoyed being here with you all.
Thank you.
And we are in their home.
Sweet home.
I wanted to be in their home because I wanted them to be comfortable. But at the same time, I wanted you to see how far that they've come, in terms of their relationship, like all the way from law school to now. And you don't just get here by chance. Like Shari said, it's steps, it's stages, it's moments. And enjoy each step and each stage.
Yes.
And now being new parents.
Yes.
Now you all can enjoy being parents.
Yes.
And Jackson has some amazing, funny parents. They still kicking it.
Yes.
Because I was on y'all social media this weekend, I said, they still turn up. I love it. They still,
good time.
And so that's always good to still have fun. As we close out before you go, I just want you all to just give that one word of advice that you would give to a struggling young lady who's in college or who's young in her 20s and chasing after a relationship. And that advice, I want you to give it to that young man who may not be into chasing after nobody right now, but want it, but trying to figure out his life right now. What is your advice to her?
Don't chase a man. In the words of Mama Ruth, don't chase no man. My grandmother, who turns 100 in July, pearls of wisdom. She basically says, don't chase a man. Let him chase you. And so just be you, because the right guy will appreciate you. The wrong guy is going to take advantage of you. So I would say just sit in life, enjoy where you are. Don't chase no man.
Good advice.
Yeah. And for any young man, I would tell him just to be honest. Honest and up front with any woman that you come in contact with. Tell them where you are in your life, like what stage of your life you're in. Like right now, women like to ask, what are your intentions with me? Well, right now, I want to get to know you. To see if we can go any further than that. I'm getting to know you right now. Yes, I'm at an age that I'm dating with intention. So if you get to that point, then we'll start talking about that. But we're not there right now. So just be honest with them. And you know what stage of your life you're in. You just in your single phase. Tell them that. I'm getting to know people. I'm hanging out. Right now, I'm not really ready for marriage. I need time to get prepared for that. And then second thing is, real quick, have a vision for yourself. Yeah. Because you cannot lead a woman if you don't have a vision for yourself. You know what you want to do.
Yeah.
So lead yourself first.
Lead yourself.
So that's it.
If I can just add one sentence, everything is worth the wait. I know when you're waiting, you feel like it's a super long time. And why God, when God, my time God, my turn God. I promise you, as someone who was rolling in dirt and waited on what felt like forever for my dream to come true, looking back on it, it was worth the wait.
Yeah. Good. Oh my God, thank you all once again. Just thank you for just allowing me to come to your home and really just express yourself. I love you all so much. And tune in next week. I'm going to have a panel of singles.
It won't be us. We there.
Have a panel of singles, so I'm excited once again. This is Justin Jones and Shari Moore Jones. And Jackson is upstairs. I'm getting excited because I want to see Jackson. So I'm going to see Jackson after this. Remember, the best leaders work to make even better leaders. God bless.